Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019 Career Mode, episode number 33. Tour of Utah. It's a big objective for the year, even though we're already past the deadline where it really doesn't matter. But we are trying to get in the top 5, and this is the Queen stage for us with a big final climb. That's going to really put it all on the line. But I have a good number of climbers at this race. It's going to give us at least a decent shot, though nobody is on a fitness peak right now. So that part doesn't help, but everybody's at high fitness. And again, it's a lot of stronger climbers. So maybe, we'll see what we can do on our way up to Snowbird. 23k to go, so we're still a dozen k away from the base of the climb. But we're on the previous categorized climb right now, where the breakaway, which was all together a moment ago, all attacked each other to get the final points here. There were 8 riders. They had nearly 5 minutes, but the chase is coming on pretty hard finally, and we've pulled back about 30 seconds of that. They were out to over 8 minutes a while ago, and it was starting to look pretty dangerous, like I might have to pick up the chase, but the gap's just about small enough now. Now, the unfortunate thing for me is they actually just came back together again. So at 4:15, those 8 riders have a chance to stay away now at 18 kilometers. But you can see, is that Trek chasing pretty hard? From here, it looks like Trek anyway. Yes. Yeah, so Trek is chasing him down pretty hard, and that's good for me. Of course, we do have some strong competition for the overall on this one, and I've got a real difficult choice ahead of me because I have a wealth of quality climbers. So I can go one of 2 methods. I can play defensive and try to protect, and whittle it down to my last couple guys, or I can go sprint train style, go on that quality, and essentially use up one guy after another and put pressure on the rest of the field that might not have the depth that I have. And of course, if I take one method or the other, almost right away, they're going to start getting spread out a little bit here and there. And so I'm thinking I should sprint train this. Gap's down to 3:13. We are catching them pretty quick, and there's 1 off the front of the other 7 now. So, and they're just at the base. I've got to make a decision on what I'm going to do with this here, like right now. I think I've got to take the quality as a whole and try to utilize it. We don't want to put in a crazy pace or anything and destroy the field. But I think I want to protect a large group of riders and use up 1 at a time as opposed to using up, say, half right off the bat. So, Evenepoel looking like maybe the strongest option. He's got the +1 race day condition. The resistance is pretty high. McNulty looking like the second option. And then Koos is on the -1 a day, and he's a few seconds behind the others right now anyway at 38 seconds down, even though he's good on the mountains. And he certainly proved himself in La Vuelta this year. Mader is definitely the next guy, even though he's on a -2. Luckily, it's just a little bit of resistance down for him. Barta's the next strongest. And then we're looking at Eiking and Ermino fairly equally. Ermino's very weak on the climbing side, so he'll have to kind of use up his hill rating early. And that means Eiking's probably going to need his gel here very soon as well, so we'll go ahead and apply that now. Ermino, take the outside. There's the base of the climb. It's going to get steep quick, so I need these guys to get in order very early, and pulled it off there. So Ermino, speed it up. Should hurt you, but not really anybody else. You can see the one behind, Eiking, just feeling it a little bit. But coming across the road like that is not good for the rest of your team. Mader is still not up into position. He should be ahead of Evenepoel. What the heck is he doing? Ermino just about out of energy. There you go. He is done. Set him to auto. we now move on to Iking, who's a bit better balanced, and he's a better climber than he is a hills guy. So we don't need to attack or anything, though here comes an attack. Ciccone trying to attack way down here with 8k to go. Alright, Iking. Let them burn themselves out. Just keep them close. Martinez going. All the favorites are actually going right now. Bart. Oh, why didn't it use it? How we look at Mater still never made it up there. So Mater is really killing our strategy right now. Mater's gonna burn himself out and the guys behind him in this chase. And Mater's done. Mater slide out of this. Now Koos is gonna have to chase. This is terrible.
Only a few riders are capable of following the very fast pace up front.
Viking's long gone. Mater just screwed the pooch on this, getting caught behind. So now McNulty and Koos are caught out. Evenepoel is caught out. And Barta, go ahead and sit up. Those guys have already gone away, haven't they? Or have they? How are we looking? Oh, no, we're okay. We caught back up to him. So Barta chased him down effectively. There's Ciccone. There's Hamilton right there. We're going to let him recover a little bit. And Evenepoel. There we go. Well, we're up to our three main guys. Evenepoel finally. Oh, Evenepoel, we lost you from the train. Let's get you back on here. Get out of the way. McNulty. Get in position, buddy. Because here comes the next attack. How are we doing on distance? 4.8k. Barta, give me your tiniest acceleration that you can manage because you're going to just accelerate for Koos, and then Koos is going to continue. Not at a 99, though. Definitely a mountains guy, so let's see what a 78 can do. Or 88, I mean. Ciccone, there's Carthy. Did we lose somebody?
The percentages are very high.
Joyce, Smith, Fortunato. There's Martinez. So Martinez has gone away. But that is only one rider. I need a top 5. I mean, I'd like to win overall, yes, but I need a top 5. So at this point, I think I'm okay because I still have my 3 guys, and that's something that others can't claim. McNulty is looking quite tired. Don't die on me, buddy. Don't die on me. Let's swap you guys. Oh, Evenepoel, you were supposed to grab onto the back end of Koos. He needs to sit up. Are you still trying to get up there? There you go. I'm down to just Evenepoel all of a sudden. 2k to go. Ciccone is gone. Martinez is gone. So now we're going to be battling for 3rd at this point. Koos still leading out, so Evenepoel is actually staying fresh this way. I can attack with him to try to go get 3rd at least. And then have Koos and McNulty try to hang on back here. Okay, 1k to go. That is time. Evenepoel, you're going to go.
There goes the sprint. The strong men are giving their all.
I'm going to set you 2 to auto. And Evenepoel gives his big acceleration and then his attack. Okay, he's got a little separation. It's just him and Hamilton. There's the 2 leaders, Ciccone, Martinez. Hamilton's going to get us for 3rd. But we can ride with him anyway. And same time anyway. And we're losing 49 seconds. So considering we were definitely not at those guys' level, I mean, it worked out okay, but the thing that really hurt was Mater losing the wheel of the other guys by a lot, and then running out of energy before he ever actually got up there. So, not being in position, and part of that's on me, I didn't decide early enough on which tactic I was going to go with, but that absolutely screwed up the race for us big time. So Mater made that a lot tougher than it could have or should have been, because it burned out Coos and McNulty before they ever even got halfway up the mountain, and before they ever made contact with Evenepoel. Evenepoel was the only one who was on a normal strategy, and that's why he was able to claim fourth, but then he had to do it without any support because, Coos, McNulty. If I would have had the strength of all three and fresh, I think we could have... Ciccone Martinez, I don't know, but we would have certainly had third. Probably 3, 4, 5 kind of thing. We weren't far off from that anyway. But it worked out, I guess. Again, the objective was top 5, and we've certainly secured that. Evenepoel will be top 3 at this point. I don't think Hamilton was on the podium prior to this. But a few days since I recorded the last episode, and I've recorded a lot of other stuff in between. But those two being on the same time, and just 4 seconds to Hamilton, I think Evenepoel will hang on to that. But Coos and McNulty going backwards a bit. So, yeah, there you go. So, Martinez into the race lead. We've got all 3 riders inside the top 5 at this point, with Ciccone splitting them. So, Evenepoel 2, McNulty, and Coos 4 and 5. That's really good. That is really good with 1 stage to go. No, we're not in the lead of the race, but dang it, that's not an easy task against some of the better World Tour riders. And certainly against the might of World Tour teams. Amazingly, it's Rowley that's in 2nd place right now. And then EF, Mitchelton, Scott, Sunweb, Katusha. I mean, okay, 1 stage to go in this race. And stage 7, it's a little punchy, but it shouldn't affect times hardly at all. Jasper Stuyven going to do kind of quick step for next year. I still have a little bit of money to spend. I still have a couple staff members that I could fire. So I have some options, and I'm going to spend a little bit of time in between the Tour of Utah and the Colorado Classic a handful of days later to try to make some strategy decisions on which direction I want to go, and basically, who I hope to try to sign, and then kind of plan plan A, plan B, plan C type thing. And at this point, what I'm thinking is I might pick out one rider who's got an okay opinion of me that would be within a certain budget range, and then see if we can get them within that certain budget range before I actually get them to agree to the deal, though, before we kind of do the last, over the line, get to 100% and accept the deal type thing. We then go fire those staff members and sign one more top rider. So I think that's plan A.
So there should be plenty of action. Riding in such heat is not easy. Many riders must have only one thing on their mind: getting this over with.
Plan B, selecting a couple quality riders to fill out the team that can do something. And I know the one area we're still lacking in for next season is somebody with a cobble rating to help out with the classics. We at this point we're losing Iking. Re-signing Iking, I don't remember what his demands are at this point and what it would take to re-sign him. I don't remember how ridiculous it was or whether he was in range, but I certainly know that I was looking at scouting a couple guys that do have something in that department. And then Plan C is just get young, high potential domestiques. So that's kind of, and signing as many of those as we can afford within the budget range. A lot of negatives today. Holy cow. Koos -3, Venopola -2. Maters is 0 at least. McNulty's is 0, but that's going to be pretty harsh for us for a day like today. Even Barta, our one punchy guy, is on a negative, so... how steep are these final climbs? Steep but short, especially the last one. The ones before that, mountain ratings, will definitely be the main way to get over those. But that final climb, I think I'll need Barta pulling those guys. So I need Barta today. I need McNulty and a Vetapole. Koos will be kind of the neutral guy, as he's down the order a little bit in 5th place anyway.
The lead rider is now more than 2 minutes ahead of the peloton.
That's a lot of riders away. Yeah, that's not that bad. We're just down on numbers quite a bit. Peloton's down to 86 riders, but there are 11 off the front, and I mean that's 1/8 of the field. That's a fairly big chunk.
Is down, and he's not going to be able to carry on. Let's hope it doesn't jeopardize the rest of his season.
Okay, let's get these guys set for a long run here. Koos, you're going to have to go get water soon. I don't know if we can make it the 20K that I'd like to go to get to the 120 mark, but we'll kind of let it run for a little bit. Yeah, here comes the fetch water bottles notifications. They're crying. Let's stall a little bit longer. 130. We'll try that. See if that's close enough to get us where we need to go. More climbs towards the end, so I really want to get that down to about 60 for that last one. It's because the pace of those, you need the water more frequently. I mean, like that last stage, right? Big climb at the end, 10K climb. Some of the guys were crying about water by the end of the stage. I got water with 50K to go instead of the normal 60 to 70K range. So climbs certainly do affect that. I'm sure you all know that by now, unless you haven't played the game as of yet. And if you haven't picked it up yet, I mean, what are you waiting for, right? Money. That's usually the answer, right?
The rider has just suffered a puncture.
Been there. And there. Okay, 70K to go. They are already definitely in demand for water, and we've got a big Cat 2 coming up here in just a little bit, and I really don't want to get into the middle of that to be then getting water. So as we approach 60K to go, I need Koos to go right now and get that water. They're just now starting to cry for it, which is good, and we're inside 60K, so we should be okay. But Koos is going to have to recover here. He's a little bit more tired than he could or should be at this point, and let's take this climb seriously. Biggest climb of the rest of the day going on right now, though the next one is a little shorter. It's a lot steeper, and then the one after that. So we've got 3 straight Cat 2 climbs, but we're already 1K from the top. And even though there's fatigue, there's going to be a good descent here, where I should be able to get most everybody recovered. Ermino is slipping back, but he might make it over the top of this in the group and not get dropped. Peloton down to 64 riders. Ooh, Ermino just avoids that crash. And at this point, just hanging on here. I think like I said, I think he's going to recover enough and stay in the group. He won't get through the next climb, but at least we have him for a little bit because that saves Sepkus. Wow, hello, blinking red at 90. Pace of the field. There was a little uphill section there. Chase is pretty hard. 6 riders off the front, 1 minute ahead. So they've got no chance of winning this thing. And Peloton already not quite down to half, but down to almost 60%. Ermino not fully recovered. Iking definitely not fully recovered. Koos is not fully recovered. And we're going to be starting that climb soon. So Koos, his 5th place might be in danger on this stage with that -3 condition and not being the supported rider right now. I need Barta to get us over that final climb. That's going to be his job. I'd rather use him than Koos on that, as he is definitely better on the pace. So Jumbo-Visma putting the pressure on here. Martin Slindeman. For a second I thought they were going to try to ride away. Here's Luke Durbridge pushing. There's Martinez. Now Ermino is done. That was expected. Koos, your position related to Evenepoel is close enough. So go ahead and protect, because Ermino is done. He is toast. He's going backwards. We'll watch from his perspective. Everybody else is right at the front. There's no attack coming on the front, and this group is beginning to shrink. 59. You can see a couple Jumbo-Visma, Inkhorn, Martins, Lindemann, those guys who attacked, used up what they had, but there's a good 6 riders off the back. Simon Clark struggling. There's Iking struggling. Iking's about to go out the back. He was protecting McNulty, and he's been dropped along with Clark. Edmondson, there's another crash. Durbridge and Carthy. And here's another group dropped. We're down to 40. It's done more damage than I expected. Just 4 left off the front and only 30 seconds. They'll be an easy catch. 5 riders here. McNulty is doing just fine on his own. Koos is fairly tired here, but he might hang on here. Wondering if it's time to put these guys into a train for the final 2 climbs instead of just the final climb. I definitely want to train the final climb. Not sure if I want to train now. I think I might wait until I get right to the top. You can see that there's a little bit of time after you hit the KOM before we actually peak out. That would be a good time, just kind of right there as we're going to crest. Breakaway's caught. Pace is out of this field. This actually could be a time to... Let's do it now. Let's do it now. So, Evenepoel is our leader. He's who we ride for. McNulty's in the next best shape. Koos, got to keep an eye on him, make sure nothing happens. It's Barta, who we want for the final climb. So Mater takes this climb. So Mater, gentle for now. He's pretty balanced between mountain and hills, but we want him to survive this climb. So this 85 looks good at the moment. He could accelerate as they accelerate, like Detier, Affini, Chad Haga, for Mark. Get a little more pace. They're pulling away just a little bit there. Mater, good. Okay, back down. Great work by Mater here. Great work by Mater. He's got us most of the way up already. I'm not trying to drop anyone, just trying to keep myself in a good position. Barta, it's time to use your gel. And now that he's gone, we need to emerge out, take over. Nader done, go backwards. Venable, don't you lose that wheel. Come on, get up there, get up there. Down to 24 riders, and there's the top. 21 riders. Koos is barely hanging on here.
There's now just 10 kilometers left.
Okay, I'm going to drop Koos to the back, as he does not have the energy to hold his position. Over the top, 5K to go on that one final climb. I don't want to attack yet, so Barta, try to recover a little bit. Koos, try to recover a little bit. Use your gel now. These guys are going to use theirs in a moment. There we go. Now start moving forward, Barta. Koos recovered a little bit. Barta, stay to the left, so these guys have somewhere to go. Where's Koos? Koos is going to get dropped like that. Oh, Barta's going away. Can he get the stage? Can McNulty keep his wheel and recover? Okay, that's good. Maybe I can send Barta to go for the stage. He's already over the top, and then he's going to have 2K to go. He's away. It's only 5 seconds. Oh. Not 99. Not 99. Not 99. There you go. Now 99. And Evetapol, you're going to sprint. Come on, Evetapol. Sprint! 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 Everybody sprint. Koos did get dropped. Where is Koos? How far back is he? Venable just not strong enough on the sprint. Not for the stage, but for that overall, we're looking good. Simon Clark, Ciccone, Joyce, Hamilton, Martinez 5th, so yes, he will keep his overall win. There's McNulty, Venable, Barta are all there. Koos is going to lose a little bit of time, so he might drop out of the top 5. Yeah, he's a minute down in 20th. But we definitely have 2 riders inside the top 25. So objective met, even though it doesn't actually matter at this point. Once you hit that August, it's done. It's locked. You've got your contract for the next year. Not a big fan of that. I think, this is what I think. If you're going to transfer teams, that deal signs on July 31st, and that's set in stone, and you're good. But if you re-sign with your team, there should be an advantage-disadvantage type thing to that. Advantage should be the... Well, let me start with the disadvantage, okay? Disadvantage should be that your objectives for the remainder of the year still matter. They'll still affect up or down your funding for next season. That's the disadvantage, right? You still have it to play for till the end of the year, till October. Advantage, though, should be, and I kind of think this is in the game already. I'm not certain. I have a hunch. It's completely unconfirmed, and I haven't heard anybody else. So go ahead and leave a comment below if you think you might have noticed this as well, or if you think the total opposite. Because again, this is only a hunch, and I'm not sure. But at this point, I think that there is a mechanic in this game that when you sign a sponsor, unless you're already starting as a top World Tour team, right, and you start with that sponsor, if you are a custom team, or if you start as a Continental team, even a Continental Pro team for that matter, should work the same. But if you start down and you have a window for a budget, you're seen as a team that's in this window. So year on year, your objectives are based on that window. What type of financing is this team going to offer? Meaning, what type of challenge is this team going to offer? So how difficult are your objectives is based on that level of the team. So when you sign a new sponsor who's going to have a bigger window, a higher set of funding available to you than what you had previously, you're going to see a progression of the objectives. You're going to see an increase in the challenge that those riders offer, or that sponsor offers. But when you stay put, you're still in the same window. Now, if your finances go up slightly because you had a good year, I could see a small increase to the objectives because you're at a higher portion of that window. But you're still in the same window. Are you tracking what I'm saying? I mean, hopefully I'm making sense here. I didn't plan this discussion out ahead of time. And it's a somewhat complicated issue that I'm not certain of, so it's not the easiest thing to speak to. But yes, we do keep second, we do keep fourth, but Sepp Kuss does drop down the order. He stays in the top 10, though, in 9th place. Again, William Barta made the big difference for us on that stage, even though he's only in 23rd. But he helped get us there to the finish. Instead of sacrificing him for Kuss, I did it the other way around. It did cost me another rider in the top 5, but I think ultimately it might have saved us, the other 2 riders who stayed put in the top 5. It was not an easy stage for us on that one. Five minutes clear in the end as a team. It's a good result. That was definitely a good result, even though we didn't win that overall. It's a big race, tough race. A lot of quality opponents. So, kind of recap. I think that by staying with the team and staying within this certain financial window, your sponsor objectives year on year, while they are affected by whether you're going up or down in finances, the effect is moderate. But while you jump ship and go to a new sponsor, the increased window of finances, of budget available from that new sponsor, if it's increased, if it's gone up, you're now jumping into a new window, and therefore your objectives are going to be varied, and they're going to be affected by that new window, meaning you're going to face a lot tougher objectives. Even though you got 1,000 a month more than you did with the old team, because the window is, say, 30,000 higher, you're actually seeing a more significant jump in sponsor demands, sponsor objective demands. So that's my hunch. That's my thought. I think there's something in the coding regarding that, because especially through my pro cyclist career, as I've jumped ship on teams multiple times, I've seen objectives get wild really quick. And I've seen in comments throughout the course of this series that others have experienced things where the sponsor objectives get crazy. It's like win every single Grand Tour, even though you're still only a mid-level team in terms of budget. But you've jumped team every single season, and that's where I'm kind of getting that idea. Next up is the Colorado Classic. We'll take a look at the profile for it. Stage 1 is a sprint stage. Stage 2 is a 15-kilometer time trial uphill. Stage 3 is from Denver to Denver. This is such a different race than it was a few years ago, and I missed the 7-day challenge that was the Colorado Classic, because outside of the Amgen Tour of California, this was the premier race in the U.S., and it's just nothing compared to what it was. It's nothing compared to the Tour of Utah, and the Tour of Utah paled in comparison to the Colorado Classic. So it's very sad to see what's become of this race the last couple of years. Somebody, give them some budgeting. Give them some sponsorship that they need to bring it back to what it was. Stage 3, just a few punchy hills. How is that hills? 105K, and there's no climbs. That's a sprint. In downtown Denver. I mean, it's only 400 meters. That's 1,200 meters. So, again, not the race it's been in the past. We'll get to that in a little bit, though, because I'm going to break off from here for a little bit and take a look and try to plan out an A, B, C plan, and then I'll look. I have to look at quite a few things for that. Is there any more Volgren going to Groupama FTJ? Prize money was pretty healthy, especially for what our budget is. I mean, that's 10% of what we have. Okay, nothing else in there. And on the sponsors, was this an objective? Again, not that it matters, but yes, a stage win. Looking for a stage win on this one. And look at all those big pluses. One of the team are very happy this season. 3 pluses from that race. Plus from that race. And even the squad evaluation looking pretty good. Where are we looking? Transfers. There it is. Okay, this is the tricky part. We're down to 14 points. So, regardless of what we do, how we do it, where we go with it, we only have 14 points left. So, Mataway, for instance, have I opened up anything with him? No, I have not made an offer. So Mataway is not someone that I've gone to at this point. He would be a fantastic pickup for us. I mean, this would be huge, as he's got the capabilities on both mountain and hills, and has more or less the resistance necessary to go for us. One thing that hurts us is he is being rated as a Barrador, and that means nothing when he's on our team. And potential could be world class, but it could be just good. Trentin, now he's more locked in on that, but he's also already 30. And he's very much just the hills and not the mountains. But that is the cobble rider that we needed and capable as a sprinter. I've got options, and I've got to look through these and really hash out some sort of plan. But with very limited points remaining, there's not going to be much that I can do. Also, I've got to deal with the interest levels. Like Volgren, nope, definitely no. Volgren's out. Peterson's out. Cantor. Panachek, I don't even know if I resigned him or not. But I'm not going to anybody in the red. So we've got to look at who's interested. Well, Gregory Daniel, James Mather are interested. They would be easy signings. It's only going to cost me a point. So they're very much going to be in the plan somewhere. Here's some 75 to 99s, but it's still just a yellow interest. And I think that is the same. You just have 3 tiers of interest level. It's the red, yellow, or green. And then it comes out the same anyway. At least that's my interpretation of how that's worked based on the deals we've tried to make so far. I don't think there's any difference between a guy who's at 30% versus a guy who's at 99%. or like this, 82 for William Barta. Right? These guys are going to have the same effect on their demands. So, something to keep an eye on. But anyway, I'm going to put this plan together, and we will see what we can do, and I'll be back in a minute. So plan A, B, and C are prepared. But we're already going to move on to plan B. Here was plan A. Looking at the dossiers that I have, looking at the interest level that exists out there, and who is even left. My two guys, Mattaway, signed with Bahrain Merida. He's gone. Mads Peterson and Valgren are gone. Trentin is with Mitchelton Scott, so he's staying put. Going down the list, looking for best quality riders that are still available. Well, here's a little surprise. Stan DeWolf, he's a 73 from Lotto Sudal. It's a classics rider, which is one of those areas I really want to fill. He's only 21 years old. It's only 3 points, meaning I'd still have 11 even if I'm unable to sign him. And he's got some interest. It's not great, but at least it's not red. So, DeWolf, I did scout, and he's got good potential. He's really good on cobbles. He's got some decent ratings otherwise, where he could be a decent 3 different plan Bs and try to get 1 or 2 that way. If I get them, then yay, we're good. If not, we move on to plan C and go for the cheapskates, the ones who like us a bit more. You what? You want to start at 12K? This is a young rider. I don't know the potential. I don't know the potential, but he's young. And even if he doesn't improve much, he'll still be a really good support rider in a lot of races to our top guys. So he's our second target. And now, I guess, our first target. And he's asking for the same money. Just 22 years of age. I don't have a scouting report on him. It is random potential in this game. In this playthrough. In real life, he is on the upper end of potential, as I have him in my 2018 game. And he has absolute quality. 75 mountain. Is asking a bit less. I can leave him as an absolute leader because on the mountains, the highest mountains, he would be. But maybe we'll try leader and see how that goes. Okay, not a fan of the role. We can fix that. Not a fan of the salary, but this is already putting me over my mark. I'd have to fire a staff member. We might be able to get him. It's going to run us over the 11,000. And before I can finish that off, I'd have to fire that staff. Because we are into the negative. So I'd have to fire at least 1 staff member already at this point. And we have 2 chances left. 1 chance left. I don't know if we're going to get there. And 13-4 is already really pushing it on this guy. And this is already really replacing Kusa's salary with the exact same thing and getting the same thing out of it, which is somebody I want, but not at that salary. I think I'd rather go to plan C at this point and get our depth. Alright, on to the high interest guys. Now, who do I want the most on this list? I think it was going to be Pidcock, who's lead out guy. No, not really. Let's see. Who else? Mather, time trial, Daniel. He might want a little more money than the others, and I hope that's not the case. Definitely a Hills time trial type guy. Berador means nothing to my team, as you know. And let's see. Garfield. Okay, Garfield's the first option. So let's look at Garfield. Not high potential. That's why I initially let him go. But good support rider. And right at the baseline. You are not an absolute leader. What? Call you an important rider. Okay, almost willing to sign for that. Is willing to sign for this, I'm sure. 3,000 we'll take. There we go. Okay, we got one. We've got 8,000 left plus the bonus if we need it. There's one rider coming into the team. Not the super high potential that I was hoping for, but is willing to sign and affordable compared to the others. Now, we've got Mather is going to give us some depth. He's 67, 67, and a 67 resistance, and a 66 on the flat. So I think Mather's the next guy we go into. He's got okay potential. And it looks like would accept less. Doesn't care for the role, but everything else is good. Oh, I've got lots of tries. So we'll try Luxury Teammate. There we go. He took it. Nice. Okay. Now we're talking. We've got 5,500 left. So I could definitely get one, maybe two more. This is going to give us more depth. We had 15 riders this season. We're going to have 17 as of now for next season, and potentially two more. So we're going to be able to handle the race load a little bit easier than we are right now. Let's go to Pidcock. Okay potential, and not Berador. So he's got some acceleration. He's got some sprint. He's got some flat. So he can do a little bit of lead out. He's got some hills. Okay time trial. I mean, there's some decent quality here. And he's actually already slightly known. Not a fan that he already wants to start out right there. Let's go with the 3-year deal. Put you in a important rider. Fine with the role, not fine with the salary. So 41 makes a huge difference. It does not. So he's out, and we're on to our last guy, Gregory Daniel. Better potential. I'm going to have to steer him away from Berador, though, because that's just not quality. But with a good flat rating, good time trial, okay hills, I mean, he can do more things for us, just gonna have to change his training schedule. Okay, this I like. He's already on the attractive side. He is not an absolute leader, though. Let's call you a luxury teammate. And he's willing to sign. Okay, so we got 3 of those guys. That's going to push us up to 18 now. And that's our team for next year. So we will confirm these 3. Let's move forward a day, see if there's any change. Oh, I can't move forward a day. We've got the Colorado Classic. I don't think it's going to change our index at all. Shouldn't. But we'll take a look at how the team looks now. So 18 riders, 3 stars. We're only gaining a half star. It's not a massive change. We are better in the sprint than we were. Same in the hills. Cobbles came out about same. Time trial almost came out the same. GC slight loss without Sepp Kuss, but definitely more depth to the team going forward, and certainly plenty of riders that are capable and can improve, and a lot of longer contracts signed. So this is going to be the really big thing, is we have a lot of longer contracts. I still have that staff part of the budget that's available. So, there's a good 10,000 already to play with for next season. Plus, if we do what we did sponsor confidence-wise next season, we'll see another big increase. So we should see an additional 35,000 or so, and we'll see a few more contracts expiring next season. So end of contracts. So we've got 2020's Cassart. He'll be gone. It's not a big saving though, but Maxime Ooms, his contract's running out, and Narvaez and McNulty, their contracts are running out. I would definitely like to keep at least one of them. Narvaez, potential is very good, so yeah, we really want to keep him. He's our puncher. And McNulty's high potential, so actually a lot of our budget could go into keeping those two. Ooms has the potential as well, and he's got the cobble rating, so really I'll want to retain all 3 of them, and Cassart would be the one out. So we're probably only going to be looking at signing maybe 1 additional rider next season. But unlike this season where I had so many expiring contracts, now I've got a lot of 3-year deals on the books. In fact, I have no expiries in 2021. I signed everybody to 3-year deals. Now, 2022, I might have a problem on my hands again with a lot of expiring contracts, but a lot of those guys at that point, if we're up to World Tour, these bottom-end guys, unless they really became something, we'll let a lot of them go, replacing them with other talent. Evenepoel, Philipsen, those will be our big riders at that point. Sean Bennett, we'll see how he improves, what comes along, but we might sacrifice his contract down the road. But anyway, this next year, I don't have much to spend, but we'll be able to sign maybe 1 big rider to the team. And that'll make it pretty tough. Maybe we can get 2 big riders to take that and turn that into World Tour status. But we're definitely on our way to Continental Pro. That's the big thing. We'll get higher prestige races, and maybe that'll make it more attractive. And it'll be a lot easier next year to get McNulty, Narvaez, and Ooms to 100%. I'll be able to open a dossier on them right off the bat, get them to 100%. Then I can focus on a few big-name riders and spend everything on them, and then try to get them as high as I can, and maybe we'll be a more attractive team next year than we were this year, because, Continental team and all that. Continental Pro works a little bit better. I mean, if our KS Amsic Cofidis can sign a bunch of riders, hopefully we can too, right? Theoretically, we'll see how that goes. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.